right, everyone have a seat. All right, can you guys believe we're already here? Our seniors, our graduating full-time seniors are going to give their farewell speech. They've thought through some of the things that they've learned from TDA, the time that they've been here. They're going to share a little bit with you guys. They're going to share a little bit of wisdom that they've learned from here, give you guys a little bit of advice. So I would say listen up, because some of them have been here since probably preschool. So listen up. It's going to be really good. No one else should be talking when they're talking because, they're sharing from their heart. So listen up. We're going to go in alphabetical order. And that means we are going to start with Kai Kai, which is over there. Seniors, if you guys want to come up here and sit here, Matthew, Brandon, do you guys want to come sit here with the rest of your seniors? Thank you.
All right. Did not know I was going first, but here we go. TDA has most everything you need to grow spiritually. It is ultimately your decision whether or not to embrace the resources that is around you. You could potentially spend all your school years at TDA and not grow closer to God if you do not choose God in the midst of what is given to you. Before I went to TDA, I would say that I had an inconsistent relationship with God. I would constantly have to be reminded to do prayer times, but when I started going to TDA for my freshman year, we were told to do meditations 5 times a week. We did meditating on scripture at home, but not very often. But being encouraged to do it myself 5 times a week was especially helpful and helped me to see the importance of these meditations. One area that I struggled with when I started at TDA was staying focused during worship. I would always zone out, but I realize now that these worship times are precious and are great opportunities for us to meet God. So my relationship with God has grown significantly over the past 4 years. Something that he has been teaching me this past year is how to become a marvelous comrade. During my freshman year, I had the mindset that I was just here for school and it wasn't worth pursuing friendships. But just this last year, God has helped me to realize that despite the differences between people, we can still choose to lift each other up and encourage each other to follow God. So my encouragement to you is don't let your differences from you and another person affect pursuing their relationship, friendship. My greatest takeaway from TDA is that I need to always be mindful to have a consistent relationship with God. How we feel a certain day should not stop us from having a prayer time with God. God always wants to meet you wherever you are. He cares for you and is available to you, so just say yes, and he can do so many great things through you. Thank you.
Come on up, Matthew.
I've been going to TDA for a little bit longer than most of you have, and so I probably have a little bit more to say about it than most of you. Unfortunately, I have about 3 minutes, so I'll make it quick. I've been here for almost 13 years now, and I have so many memories from so many of my older classes. I remember in kindergarten when Mrs. Hibbard would let the birthday kid choose from the goodie box, and my birthday was in the summer, so I never got one, and I was really sad. I remember in first grade always finishing the 5-minute math test last, and remembering and wondering why Becca was so much better than me at it. I remember we joked that we were the worst class in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade because all of our teachers left after they took our class. I have plenty more memories from the school, but that's not the point. The point is the school has truly shaped my childhood and the rest of my life up until this point. I've always had people here instructing, encouraging, and speaking life into me, and I could never come close to expressing the amount of gratitude I have for that. Over the years, I've had so many amazing teachers, and I doubt I'll ever forget them. People like Miss Bella, Miss Starnes, Miss Capps, Mr. French, Miss Jessie, and Mr. Hibbs are hard to come by, and I'm thankful I've had the opportunity to learn from them. The teachers at the school truly are a blessing. The students are almost as good as the teachers, and trust me, that's a compliment. I have so many fond memories of people like Graham French, Josiah Hiraguri, Randy Riley, Brandon Edmondson, and so many more whose friendships shaped my childhood almost as much as the school did. I want to thank all the staff and everyone else who runs the school. Thank you, Miss Morgan, for always being so cheerful so early in the morning. Thank you, Mrs. Yap, for making sure we all take the right classes and keeping track of our credits better than most of us do. Thank you, Mr. Kurt and Mr. Small, for making sure the school doesn't literally fall apart. And of course, thank you, Mrs. Lee, for running the school and making sure that all of us go hard after God. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you to the teachers for always supporting and helping me. Thank you to the students for being such good friends. And thank you to the school for fostering such a beautiful and unique environment. God bless you.
Before I came to TDA, I was almost sure of myself that I would not follow the Lord, or if I did, I would wait till I was older. But ever since I started coming to this school, the Lord slowly but surely did a great work in me. My first year here, I was open to the fact of walking with the Lord, but wasn't sure. But that summer, in my 10th grade year, the Lord showed me what He had in store for me, and I could either have rejected the offer and went back to my old ways that weren't the Lord's, or I could take His hand and move forward, and thankfully enough, I accepted it, and it changed my life. The Lord has taught me to have faith in His wisdom for my life and to hold on to the words He gives me. Through this, it has allowed me to grow into a more deeper, intimate relationship with Him and see Him more as a loving Father rather than a mean God. The Lord has made my heart tender to the people around me, which has taught me to want to help others and help them with their walk with the Lord. And I'm excited to go out and apply these things to my life. I'm very thankful for the friends I have made here in the past couple of years, and I'm super excited to see in 20 years how the Lord is using them in their life. I'm so thankful for the no dating policy because it has allowed me to focus on the Lord and get to know Him more and more. I'm grateful for the seeds the school has sown in me, and they're even starting to sprout in my life even now. I'm excited to see these habits and how they unfold in my life later. Some of my favorite memories have been the trips we've gone on, either that was going down to Joplin for basketball or going to Morelia for Lions Week. Those were the times I really got to bond with my classmates and all my friends. What I want to leave with the students is this: do not just let the time here cruise by, and do not be active in what the Lord is doing in your life in this season. I think it's common temptation to let the time we have here be taken for granted, and we don't really see what we truly have here and how thankful we should be for everything this school has to offer. Thankfully for me, the Lord came to me and met me where I was, so I gave Him my attention, but sometimes we need to seek the Lord and allow Him to lead us in the right direction. All the meditations and the Bible readings that our Bible classes make us do are planting seeds in you. You might not realize it now, but you will in the future. And finally, I just want to say the Daniel Academy is the best school ever. God bless.
All right. So, TDA has been such an important part of my school life. God seems to know the best path for each of us, and I feel fortunate to have TDA as part of mine. While at TDA, I've gone from a sixth grader who never attended formal school because we had homeschooled up to that point, to now getting to graduate and become an alumni of a real school. It means a lot to me, and I've been part of something as special as this. While at TDA, I've not only grown in age, but I've also grown in owning my own faith in God. Living in a home that has always had God at the center is wonderful, and it's an amazing thing. But it's easy to take your parents' faith and kind of mix it with your own. And being at TDA has really helped me understand that it's my own faith in God, and it's my responsibility to keep that faith alive. I've also grown a lot academically, taking classes from different teachers with some topics that I like and some that I, quite frankly, do not like, has stretched my academic abilities and has helped me grow as a student. I've really enjoyed being in Mr. French's classes, where he takes complex topics and he explains them in a way that you can understand and appreciate. And I really like Mr. Hibbs' classes. He always has amazing stories that he mingles into everything, and it's just so much fun. Mrs. Bandemir has taken the existential nightmare that is philosophical ethics and has turned it into a hilarious and interesting class. Mrs. Capps is still the same incredible teacher that she has taught me from 6th grade all those years ago. And to all the amazing teachers that I've always taught at TDA, thank you all so much for the sacrifice of being here and for how much you love your students and how much you care. Just thank you. When I leave TDA, I will remember the life lessons I have learned here as well as the fun memories. Learning to set aside time every day to listen to God and write it down is such a good habit, and I hope to always have that as a priority in my day. The friendships and camaraderie of my school peers is something I hope to have for the rest of my life. And even though I can be a little bit introverted at times, I hold the relationships I have developed here in the highest value. A couple of things that I would like to leave for those who will graduate in the coming years are to remember the value of people and the value of God. Relationships with everything is the most important thing in life. While at TDA, don't take your classmates for granted. Be nice to people. Be patient with those who are struggling or were left out. And above all, remember to be authentic. Be authentic with your relationship with God, with teachers, with peers. And even if it doesn't feel like it would pay off, it's always the best thing to do. Thank you. Goodbye.
I think it's fair to say that I've changed a lot since I was the crying first grader on Shadow Day at TDA 10 years ago. A lot of that change happened under this roof with this group of people and with the help of the amazing teachers and environment that's created here. Nowhere else would I be pushed to reach my own full potential in the way that I have been here, and nowhere else would I find such unique and truly, truly beautiful humans to be surrounded by. My years here coincidentally lined up with some of the most formative and tough ones that a person goes through, but I truly believe that I would be a very different person if I hadn't spent them here. I've gone through phases where TDA's influence definitely felt more like tough love, but I've also grown to see the joy and pricelessness in fellowship and community like the one that I find here. How do I even begin to thank and appreciate the people and the place that completely changed my life and to leave behind whatever advice I can in one short speech? I guess I would share one of the most life-changing things I've learned here that I'm pretty sure won't be a new idea to many of you, which is to fix your eyes on Jesus. The meditations, adoration, and thanksgiving that we do here are not just words. They're perspective-shifting and spiritually powerful acts that physically invite the Lord into the place that you're at. We have a tendency to be incredibly selfish, self-centered humans, but the simple act of looking to Jesus and marveling in him or thanking him for something that he's done spins your whole situation and now invites Jesus to be a part of it. He has this way of bringing light and life wherever he goes, and we have the ability to instantly invite him in. So use it, adore him, read your Bible, say something that you're thankful for. It's so elementary, but that's because it's so fundamental to living a life partnered with Christ. We can't live for him if we don't let him be a part of our lives. And finally, make the most of every single moment, of every party and sports game and history class and lunch period and Stuco meeting. Those are the things you'll miss the most later on, trust me. Have conversations with people. See the beauty in those around you, and please don't be afraid to laugh. I promise you, life is so much better when you're laughing. Some of my favorite things in the world are the random memories I have gathered from my time here. So just to name a few and to have an iconic "do you remember when" moment. Do you remember when we did a Valentine's flash mob junior year for no reason and we kind of slayed? Or when I actually made a basket in basketball this year and somebody yelled "shooter alert." Or when I accidentally squeezed Coach Elijah's hand during our soccer team meeting and he was absolutely dumbfounded. Or when we went whitewater rafting last year and I got stuck underneath the raft. And when I cried at every single speech since sophomore year. And finally, when Kai had to pull me out of the lake on Lions Week. But he's not even here, so whatever. Well, I do, and it was great. Thank you all for being a part of the random and hilarious moments that you can trust I will treasure literally forever. Thank you, junior high girls, for the smiles and for saying that you liked my outfit every time I was sad. I'm going to miss you guys. To everyone who has been on a sports team with me, thank you for your patience and willingness to have fun and work hard when it's necessary. Truly, my most favorite memories have come from those experiences, and I'm grateful that I got to do it with you guys. I love you all individually, and you will always be my team. Freshmen, I love you guys. Make the most of it because honestly, in many ways, it doesn't get better from here. But be excited because you're in for something amazing. Juniors, you guys were an experience, but I'm grateful for every time that we laughed together, even if you were laughing at me. And you're all incredible and deep, wonderful people, and I'm so glad to know you. I've been so impacted by so many of you, the way that you love and serve, and then the next second absolutely demolish somebody with a joke. It's really impressive. Thank you for the laughs. I appreciate you. And seniors, I can't even begin. Many of you have been my friends for years and years, and we've been through so much craziness together. Thank you for putting up with me and for laughing at my jokes, even though I know most of you didn't want to. And I hope you know that I have thought about each of our friendships individually recently, and I have reasons that I will miss all of them. You guys are the best and the strangest little group, but I truly love you all so much, and we had the best time. You are such remarkable people, and I'm so excited for all of your lives. I think I said it best on Valentine's Day when I said I'm truly jealous of everyone you'll meet and laugh with and live your life with, and I hope you know that the time I got with all of you will be so treasured deep in my heart like nothing else, so thank you guys. And TDA, thanks for everything. Thank you for being the one place where I'm surrounded by such an eclectic group of people and forced to be amazing friends with them. Thank you for being a safe place where I got to fall in love with the Lord and learn so much about myself. I had a great time, but here's to hoping that I won't be back soon. Thank you.
I will tell you today what I probably never would have told you 6.25 years ago when I first started attending TDA. I love this school with my entire heart, soul, mind, and strength. I walked in, hobbled in on one foot and 2 crutches the first day of the 4th quarter of my 6th grade year, not knowing the open arms that waited for me, even if the teacher had no clue I was in their class that year. Love you, Mrs. Capps. I didn't know what God had in store for me, but looking back, I can confidently say there's no other place I would have wanted to grow up other than TDA. All the retreats, regular assemblies, long assemblies, and prayer times that may have pushed me out of my comfort zone a little will always be with me, and they will forever have a great impact on my life. I have had more encounters with God at this school than I have ever imagined, and that is because of the delight he takes on this school, and being here and being so willing to seek after him on a daily basis. Never let that stop. You will never find a place so willing to give up their class time to let their students worship God more. This is the most incredible school with the most incredible people to lead it. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Lee, for the Bible and Foundations classes. I will gladly take another year of school for the ability to take your class one more time. Thank you, Miss Jessie, for creating Body Talks. I've come to understand how great a gift everyone is around me and how I'm a good gift to them. Thank you, Mrs. Keithley, for stepping up this year to coach us in basketball and to be a healer every once in a while, too. Thank you to the rest of the teachers who I wish I could name individually, but you are all gifts to each and every one of us students and have an impact on our lives forever. I will miss every one of you. I love you guys. And to every high school and junior high student, thank you for making my last year at TDA the best one yet. I've gotten to watch all of you grow physically and spiritually, and it has been the most amazing time of my life. Continue your pursuit of God. Keep that fire burning inside of you. People see it and want to know more. Take every day at the school and keep it with you. Keep it close. Your last day is a lot closer than you think. I remember walking in my freshman year thinking I had forever till I graduate. Now here I am in front of you saying my goodbyes. Worship, pray, and journal every day. You will hear so much from the Lord. And I will leave you with this. Don't say God has been silent when your Bible has been closed. Continue the amazing pursuit of the Lord. You will never regret it. And that I can promise. I love all of you so much, and thank you for the memories that I will hold close forever.
Well, I haven't actually been at TDA for very long. It was after a lot of convincing from my dear friend Emma Lippiet and a random tour at midnight on New Year's Eve 2021, with which Emma tried to convince me that this was a former insane asylum. And apparently that sold me because I ended up here. But moving to KC and coming to this school was one of the most intimidating and scariest of decisions. But I'm so happy that I made the leap. Here in this building, I got to have some of the sweetest and most impactful encounters with the Lord while being pushed in ways that I didn't know I need to be pushed, or ways that I didn't necessarily want to, like speaking. But it was good. It's good. We're here. But for me, a lot of the school year has just been one long transition. Coming in, I was a very nervous and frankly scared homeschooler with no clue what was going on, and I was very scared of my own shadow. Walking through something completely new and strange was terrifying. But with teachers like Mrs. Wagu, Mrs. Jessie, and Mr. Hibbs, I started to feel pushed and inspired to grow. And I was starting to come to believe that maybe I was just maybe more competent than I thought. What I want to encourage you guys with is to seek the wonder of life around you. What carried me through years past and into this lovely season now was learning a love for life and people around you. This wonder was something God began to grow on very long walks back in Texas. It started out as a love for the shade of the grass. It was the sound of Art Creek and the belief that there must be beauty in everything. It was like a little seedling that began to grow. So when Texas cedars turned to KC oaks, and when sunsets after a long hot day became the cool sunrises before school, somewhere in that chaotic change, I found myself okay, and I was content. As you're going through your processes of changing from grade to grade and getting closer and closer to where I am standing now, it's very easy to just want it to end. But I highly encourage you to take a step back and ask the Lord to show you the beauty and the wonder of the season and the grade and the class you're in right now. Ask to be content and find peace here in this season now. I assure you from personal experience, this makes a world of difference. I genuinely mean it when I say that I'm so happy and so grateful that I got to go through this special school year with all of you. From doing Just Dance at Fall Treat to sobbing on the stage, from like seeing the throne room and eating tamales in Morelia, and every other moment be boring and very fun. I've loved it. To 12th grade, thanks for letting me join in and welcoming me. To the teachers, thank you for your grace and encouragement, especially Mrs. Wagu and Mrs. Jessie. This whole year, I've just been in awe of both of you and how you're intelligent but passionate for Jesus, but you love people so well. To Mr. Logan for the early mornings that, maybe didn't always feel great, but I loved getting to sit and chat and just listen and learn. I love how just being at the school and seeing how you handle community, and to just all of TDA and the faculty, every grade, junior high and senior high. Thank you for letting me join your family and having me for this short season. So.
I was a 6-year-old kindergartner when I was given my first Wednesday club. That was before Saturday clubs existed, but different name, same idea. I remember crying next to the nurse's office because I was so scared I had gotten in huge trouble or something, but it turns out that our family had just been late like 3 times in the past quarter. But nevertheless, after I paid my dues wiping desks and wiping windows, I remember leaving with a very full heart. I was so thankful that I had this school that I could serve, and little did I know what Jesus had in store for me the next couple of years of my life, more than a couple. For the past 13 years of my life, TD has been my school, my community, and my home. I grew up in the halls that we now play tag in. I had elementary classes in the rooms that we play sardines in, and I used the bathroom that we fit about 10 of us in as a tornado shelter in 2nd grade. Our 6th grade classroom is now a daycare room, and Mr. Ard's office is now my own. It's been an amazing time and an epic trip, and I've loved every second of it. People always say in these speeches, don't take TDA for granted, or it goes by too fast, and before you know it, you'll be up here. And while all these statements are ridiculously accurate, regardless of how many times they've been said, I'll probably use them all at least once before I'm done. I want you guys to look back on your high school years and junior high years as the best 4 or 6 years of your life. In order to do that, you need to be living life to the fullest. And living life to the fullest is only possible when you're doing it with Jesus. Life without him is drab and boring, but here at TDA, you can do it. You can live life to the fullest and run alongside with your friends. Here at TDA, talking about Jesus is a new cool thing to do, and you think otherwise, maybe you shouldn't be here. Consider it a privilege and an honor to be at the school at this time, to be to be pushed to do your meditations, pushed to read your Bible, pushed to spend every morning with him. And keep in mind that there's people who want your spots, people who are on the wait list and want your spots, but if you're here, don't take it for granted and give it your all. with that being said, junior hires, thank you for two things. One, your constant stream of business and Snack Shack. It wouldn't be the same without you. But more importantly, thank you for your unashamed worship. You guys have inspired me to press in and look at Jesus more times than I can count, and I'm so thankful for that. Some of my favorite memories from junior high include geography with Gallagher, waltzing in his greatest show, and running headfirst into the zipline pole. All to say, it's funny the things you remember. Lastly, junior hires, be kind. Be kind to each other, be kind to your teachers, and be kind to the people working at Snack Shack. Simple manners of saying please and thank you go a long way. And be kind to the people around you, because life's too short to be mean. To the freshman class, you guys are the bomb. Thank you for the life you bring to high school. Thank you for your willingness to serve and your dedication to Jesus. I remember when I was a freshman in Kaiser's history class. Show him some respect like we did. He just might make you chicken pot pie too. I know taking your first real finals can be scary, but I want you to remember that Becca slept through her online biology final, and you can't do much worse than that. I'm so glad to have my last year in high school with your class in your hall. And you love Jesus so well and have truly raised the bar for high school. Keep it up. And lastly, freshmen, I love your class spirit, even if it wasn't enough to beat ours. But now that we're gone, you guys can win retreat. Sophomores, I promise high school does get better. When our class became sophomores, we went from a lively 16-person freshman class to a solid 8. But don't worry, high school is fun, and next year you're going to be upperclassmen. Take leadership and keep pursuing him. I can't wait to see all that he's going to do in and through you guys. And to the juniors, soon to be seniors, in 3 weeks we'll be gone, and you guys can rule school. Thank you for your Lions Week memories, for dancing at the base in Morelia, eating Majo's pancakes, and running to OXO. One day we'll all go back together and walk the streets. I've loved living life with you, and now it's your turn to lead the school. You guys are so fun to be around, and the school is so lucky to have you. Don't let this last year slip by, because before you know it, you'll be up here talking and saying goodbye. And to everyone, keep running hard after Jesus. Don't stop, and don't let your friends slow down. Keep pursuing him with everything you got, because, guys, he's so worth it. Keep the fire burning and keep the prize in mind. Keep running fast, because you definitely don't want to be last.
3 years ago, I never would have imagined where I am today. My friends, the friends I've gained, the beautiful memories I've gotten to make, and all the things the Lord has taught me. I remember freshman year, sitting in my room, in my chair, praying to God that he would bring me some friends who want to go after God and Jesus together. Little did I know how much he had for me at that moment. We were asked to share some of our favorite memories. To be honest, my memory is kind of the worst, as any of my friends can tell you. But there are a few things that I will never forget. Sophomore year, Mr. Good's class, literally only talking with Sydney and not learning anything about world history. Late nights in the sanctuary, blasting music and hanging out with Stuco members. Playing the slap game with my cousin and best friend, Jack Lee Pack. The random, meaningful conversations me and Becca got to share in the sanctuary, waiting for our family members to leave and figuring out if we were going to run for exec or not. Every single sports practice and game, regardless of how good we were or not so good we were. Lions Week, getting to see everybody step into the gifts that God has given them. But most of all, it's been all the little moments, sharing time with you guys, that have made me fall in love with this school and be so grateful that God brought me here. Admin and teachers, thank you so much for bringing God into every situation. I've never had Christian teachers before, and the grace and love that you have shown me has helped me truly understand the love of Father in the way I never had before. Your constant encouragement and willingness to serve and help the school is not nearly as appreciated as it should be, but just know that you're making such a big difference in my life and the lives of all the students here. Junior high, you guys can be kind of crazy, but I've had such a pleasure watching you radiate joy throughout the hallways and pursuing God so intentionally at such a young age. You guys are so special, and I pray that your love for God and each other only grows stronger. High school, every one of you has touched my life in a way that I am forever grateful for. You have all taught me to take life not too seriously, but also that striving for excellence is important and something to be valued. I wouldn't have been able to get through some of the hardest things I've ever had to face if it wasn't for you standing by my side through it all, so thank you. I've said this a lot in my speeches, but if there's one thing I could tell little Emma and all of you guys, it's to learn to love well. Remember that God's love for you is so much deeper and more forgiving than you may realize, but it's there and you can learn to accept it. You guys are his beloved and his bride, and he wants nothing more than to spend time with you. Let his love work through you and pour it into the lives of others. Nobody is perfect, and just like 1 Peter 4:8 says, unfailing love for one another covers a multitude of sins. So love without fail. All that to say, you guys have taught me so much, and I cry every time I think about having to leave. You are some of the kindest, most selfless, funny, welcoming individuals I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. It's rare what God has given to this school, and I've been so blessed to come here, so thank you and love you guys.
So I was asked to do a farewell speech in 3 minutes. I don't know how about any of you guys, but when you guys get to be a senior, you will learn that that is almost impossible to do. Okay. But some of my favorite memories about TDA, I would say, is getting to spend time with you each and every day in assembly. When I started here, I would say I was the kid that wore his hoodie and may have put AirPods in his ears to listen to other music besides the worship that was playing on the stage. But after a little bit, you learn that that's not really the way you should go, because Jesus is literally in the building 24/7 and you should put your ears to use. My other favorite memory would also be dunking outside for the first time on all the little kids. I don't know if you guys were there or not, but it's a crazy feeling. And when you guys can dunk, don't take it for granted. And if your friends that can't dunk say, he's just dunking all the time, he's not that good, don't believe them and keep dunking on them because they're jealous, okay? So some of the things that the Lord has done in my heart is just watching all of you guys continuously on an everyday basis go after your goals and your dreams, the junior hires, never giving up and literally always have their hands up in worship and pursuing, not caring who's around them or what. It's just so incredible to watch because no other school has that. I don't think you guys realized how blessed you are to be surrounded by this many amazing friends, this kind of like culture that you guys are in, and it's just phenomenal. To the teachers, I really would like to name you all individually, but to be honest, I'm not going to remember all your names, and I would feel bad if I missed somebody. So we're going to thank you, all the teachers, for always giving all your heart, all the administration for always never giving up on us, and like, you guys literally make this school so amazing. There's no other way to put it. Thank you to the SOAR program specifically for my thank you, because some people may like look down on it, but it's honestly why we keep going and why we never give up on us. How do we put it? Amazing people. And so the Miss Jessie specifically, she really helped me be able to thrive and stretch my brain in a new way that I didn't think my brain would stretch, aka algebra. Guys, it's crazy, but you guys got this. You guys can do it. She's just able to teach it in a way that encourages you while loving you at the same time, and it's just phenomenal. Some of you guys may know that I'm going to college or would like to go to college, and some of you also may know that I barely made it through 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, but it's because of all my amazing teachers that I was able to accomplish that and want to go back to do 4+ years of it and play my favorite sport. So thank you guys so much for always being there for me and always willing to give me a hug in the hallway. It's literally the best thing ever. Thank you, worship team, for always never giving up. Jesse specifically for running on who knows what to do that like every single day. It's kind of incredible. I thrive to be like you. Thank you, TDA, so much. I love you and appreciate you. Have a great rest of your life.
Great job, seniors. That was so awesome. Wonderful. You guys can get ready for your breakfast. Come up here real quick. We're going to take a picture. And then parents, we're going to head over to the lunchroom, and Mrs. Bella has made an incredible